We're going to be doing a full body mix. Feel free if you need to pause the video, glass of water, and then press play, come right on. If that's comfortable as well. All spine, and just start by taking a few shoulder rolls. Forward and up on an inhale, back and down on an exhale. Holding it there for a few breaths. You could be static, or you can nod your head up and down. Just releasing any kind of tension through the sideline of the neck. Rolling that chin down toward the center of the chest, and then taking the left ear up toward the left shoulder. You can hold here, or again, just nodding it up and down for a few counts. Good. Bringing your head back up to a center line. Planting those palms. You guys come into a downward. Shaking out the head a little bit. Palms are staying at shoulders, heels back down toward the mat. Heels grounding down to the mat from side to side. And then walking internal rotation through the knee. So it's facing, inhale, knee to the nose on another one. Stepping the foot between the palms, dropping the back heel down. Grounding those feet at a little bit of pulses here if you'd like. Setting your shoulders down and keeping the tailbone tucked. Back. Getting into an internal rotation here. We're about to find balance onto the right foot. Choose for warrior 3 to face the ground, taking one more breath. Exhale the palms down to the floor, high plank pose, hold it. Those palms shoulders width. Walking those big toes together to touch. Inhale your left leg now up toward the ceiling. Let's again keep that internal rotation, so we're working on the back right IT band. You can flex the left foot if you choose. Firing up in through that left heel, and then continue to lengthen the front of your chest. Taking about 2 more breaths here. Again, perching up on the fingertips, this can help. Taking an inhale, left knee to the nose, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, warrior 1. Stepping that foot down, feet are about at hips width. Bringing yourself up to a rise, reaching the arms up toward the ceiling, finding a few pulsing breaths and movements. Lengthen up through the chest here, relax those shoulders, and keep that left knee trekking toward the left pinky toe. You're here for just a couple more breaths. Continue to lift up through the chest, lean the upper body back, taking one more count, and getting up into that high crescent. Back right heel is going to lift up. Go deeper into your stance here, ensuring the shoulders are directly over top of those hips. Core is engaged. Option 1, you can stay here. Option 2, hinging the upper body forward. Arms can reach out to the sides. You can come up into that flying bird, maybe even that warrior 3. Taking a few more breaths. Continue to lengthen through the chest, trying to get that flat back, parallel to the ceiling. Good. Coming back into that high crescent pose on an inhale, palms to the ground on an exhale. High plank pose again. You could be static here, or coming into tricep push-ups for 3. Your main option here is dropping down onto the knees. When you're done, down dog direct on an exhale. Remember, those push-ups are an option. 2 breaths. And let's get into a little bit of movement now. Bend the knees, look forward, walk or jump. Movement being vinyasas. Flat back, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale to stand up. Reach the arms up to the ceiling, palms to prayer. On an exhale, starting with a bounce to the knees. Inhale the arms up. Forward fold, exhale. Palms to the shins, flat back, inhale. Right leg steps back, hold it, drop the knee, and then inhale the arms up to the ceiling. Deep runner's lunge for 2 breaths. Let's try to continue to breathe in and out of the nose here, maintaining heat. Inhale to look up, palms to the ground, exhale, high plank, 1 tricep push-up into a vinyasa set. From that upward dog, squeeze your glutes before resetting into a down dog. 2 breaths. Ensuring those palms are spread out nice and wide, grounded onto the mat. Beautiful job. Let's inhale the right leg up to the ceiling, stepping the foot between the palms, dropping the back knee. One quick count, arms come up, arms to the floor, exhale. Left foot steps up, flat back, breathe in, forward fold, exhale. Good, stand it up, inhale. Palms to prayer, exhale. Bounce to the knees, repeat. Arms to the ceiling, forward fold, exhale. Palms to the shins, flat back, breathe in. Left leg now, steps back. Drop the knee, and then inhale the arms up toward the ceiling. Taking 2 breaths. Be mindful that you're trying to squeeze through those inner thighs so you're not dumping through the back or you're not dropping that right hip out to the side. Good. Taking an inhale, palms to the ground, high plank pose. Option vinyasa static or one push-up into a classic set. Down dog for those 2 counts. Good, left leg up to the ceiling, everybody inhale. Stepping the foot forward, drop the back knee. Arms come up, quick count. Palms to the ground, exhale. Right foot steps up, flat back, breathe in, breathe in. Good, forward fold, exhale. Stand it up, inhale, reach the arms up, palms to prayer, exhale. Set the shoulders down and back, kick the bum back, and coming into a prayer chair pose. So keeping those palms just in front of the heart center, you could press the thumbs against the heart, but be mindful that again, you're tucking the tailbone so you're not dropping your belly down toward the thighs. You're continuing to lengthen through the front line of the chest, lifting it up. Get into a little bit of pulse here. Pulsing in that chair pose for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold 1. Reaching the arms forward, keeping them at shoulders width. Stepping the right leg back into a high crescent. Arms are going to come up to the ceiling and then come back into chair with the arms reaching forward. Okay, switch the legs. Left leg steps back, arms up, back into chair, arms reaching forward. Okay, continue to alternate from right to left, left to right. It's up to you how fast you want to go. But try to keep a micro bend in through the knees so you could really feel that firing coming in through the quadriceps. Okay, let's take 1 more per side. We're going to meet in chair here shortly. Remember that you're finishing with that left leg stepping back. Good, chair pose. We're going to hold here to meet with everybody. 3 breaths. Good, stand up, arms up. Forward fold, hinging from the hips, exhale. Flat back, inhale. High plank pose, let's bring it there and hold. Palms are right underneath the shoulders. Let's take that right palm to the center. Coming into a side high plank. Opening up the arm, the left, up toward the ceiling. You're welcome to reach it overhead. Maybe even come into a modified variation, where the right knee drops down if you need an option. Okay, pull that belly in. Continue to lengthen through that top arm. You're here for 3, 2, high plank pose, 2 breaths. Good. Left palm center. Simply switching sides. Side high plank. Your right arm is going to be reaching up. Maybe even reaching overhead if you need that sideline stretch. You're welcome to drop the left knee down to the floor at any time. Try to pull the shoulder scapula down and back. 2 more breaths. Beautiful job. High plank pose. Hold it. Let's drop down to the knees for a moment and come with tucked toes sitting up onto the heels. We're going to reach the arms up toward the ceiling. Inhale. Take the right arm underneath the left. If you're unable to find a bind, you can hold on to your shoulders. And then you're just going to focus on taking the chin to the chest, close the eyes, and breathing right into the back of the neck. Closing the eyes here for 3. And change. Arms up, inhale. Taking the left arm underneath the right. Switching sides, your binder holding onto your shoulders, dropping the chin toward the chest, creating that ujjayi-like sound right at the back of the throat. 2 more breaths. Good, arms up to the ceiling, inhale. Palms to prayer, exhale. Momentarily come forward, circle out through the heels. You're going to do that again, but we're just going to change the movement in the arms. But this time, you're going to try to take that pinky toe and tuck it under as well. Shift the heels out just a little bit, and then engage the core in order to hold it, okay? Inhale the arms up toward the ceiling. You're just going to bend your right elbow and take your left palm, simply hold it onto the right elbow. So you're getting into a tricep stretch, keeping that chest palate lifted here for a couple more breaths. Tuck the tailbone so you're really lengthening up through the spinal cord. Good. Inhale the arms up to the ceiling and then switch, bending your left elbow. Take the right palm onto the elbow, hold on tight, lengthen out through the chest, and again, pull the ribs in so you can find a slight tuck to the tailbone. 2 more breaths. Good, reaching the arms up toward the ceiling, inhale, palms toward the ground, exhale, coming into a tabletop, and then find a few cat-cows. So rolling the shoulder blades back on an inhale, exhale, rounding out through the spine. Continue to move into your cat-cows. Good, about 2 more breaths here. Just organically let the body cycle through. We're going to come into a baby camel. Coming up onto the knees, big toes coming to touch, taking your palms onto your lower back, and then inhale, lifting up through your chest. You could either hold here, even taking the eyes up to the ceiling, or start to press the hips forward. And then leaning your upper body back. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, a little more depth. If you're comfortable, dropping your head. Just a small back bend here, 2 more breaths. Good, chin to the chest. If you did reach down for the heels, take the palms onto the lower back, bring yourself back up into a stand-like position, and then take those palms back down toward the mat. You're going to lower down onto your belly. Move out any kind of props out of the way. What we're going to do is we're going to work on the flexibility of the shoulders. So you're going to reach the right arm at about, the crown of the head represents 12, toes represent 6 o'clock. Reach the right palm to about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. From there, taking your head side temple to the side, to the floor, and then you're going to slowly stack the left side of the body on top of the right. Opening up through the side plane. Your left palm can stay on the hip if you choose. If you need some help balancing, it could be just on the floor in front. But you're basically opening up through that rotator cuff, opening up through the shoulder. Feel free, advanced students, if you want, you can take the right palm up toward 3 o'clock. But we're just going to hold here for a few counts. Continue to have a nice, slow, long, deep breath. And very slowly, very mindfully, start to roll back onto your belly. Take the chin onto the mat. Hold here for a couple of breaths. Bring yourself up to a Sphinx pose. Let's just lengthen and stretch that out. Planting your palms, squeezing your glutes, and then have intention to reach the chest forward. Pushing down into the elbows so you're not collapsing through your neck or shoulders. You're always lengthening and lifting. Reaching that heart through the opening of the biceps here for one more breath. Good. Let's switch sides. You're going to lower back down, chest to touch, reaching that left arm out toward 7 or 8 o'clock. And then start to stack the right side of the body on top of the left, relaxing the side temple toward the ground. And then do exactly what you did with the other palm. So right palm can be on the floor in front or just behind you up to the ceiling, going for the stretch. About 3 more breaths here. Good. With helping hands, slowly start to come back onto the belly, chin to the mat. Hold here momentarily just so the body can realign before coming into a Sphinx pose. With helping hands, you're taking that elbows of both sides underneath the shoulders, reaching those palms forward, lengthening out through the chest. Feeling a slight squeeze in through Mula Bandha, in through the lower glute line, and then just continue to lengthen through your lower back. Have that intention to reach the chest palate forward for 2 more breaths. Good. Taking your palms right where those elbows were, pushing yourself up to a tabletop. You're going to walk those knees toward the middle of your mat and then come into a seated position. Okay? Reaching the right leg just off of your mat, pull the left heel in toward the growing. So taking the foot just toward the inner thigh, lifting up the hips a few times, find length. Pull the muscle and the flesh back so you're finding those sit bones. Inhale, lengthening up through the chest. Favor and twist toward the right leg. And then exhale, hinging from the hips, coming into a forward fold. Let's start to try to flex through the right foot. And then lengthen through your chest. Try to get the forehead right close toward the right shin. Taking 2 more breaths. Now you're not going to come up. What you're going to do is you're just going to walk your palms alongside your mat, so you're still in that forward fold, hinging from the hips, but you're just going to favor now the bent leg. So you're taking your upper body right over top of that left leg, and then you're just going to relax the head. Try to have an intention to ground your right hip down onto the mat, and then breathing nice and deeply right into your belly. We're going to get into a little bit of a twist here, taking your left elbow just by that left knee. Inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling. Inhale, try to lift up through the breastbone palate. Exhale, try to twist a little bit more from your core. Okay, taking 2 more breaths. And last time, right palm to the floor, you're going to walk back toward the right leg. So you're still coming into that forward fold. Inhale, try to lengthen up through the chest, reaching the left arm onto the outside of the right foot. And then exhale, twist. Try to look past your right shoulder blade. Every inhale, there's a little bit of length. Every exhale, you're twisting a little bit more. Good. Slowly bring yourself up. And the last one to finish, my favorite, plant that left palm behind you, lifting up through those hips, getting into that full side lying release. Squeezing your glutes, really curving out through your spine. Left palm is directly underneath the shoulder so you have the support. Maybe shake out the head a little bit. Taking 1 more breath, and we're going to switch sides. So slowly touch the hips down. Pull that right knee in and extending the left leg out. Try to take that right heel toward the groin, toward the glute. Move the flesh and the muscle out of the way. Inhale, lengthen up through the chest. Twist to the left leg, hinging over, and then reaching for the left shin. Both sides of the body are going to be different, so just give yourself some time, patience, as you allow your body to realign, to re-register. Good. Taking a few more breaths here before we add on. And then start to walk with your hands, forearms close toward the mat, toward the right side. So taking your body right over top of that right bent knee. Breathing deeply into the belly here, lengthening out through the chest, setting the shoulder scapula down. Good. We're going to be taking that right elbow against the right knee, and you're going to reach that left arm now up toward the ceiling, getting into a little bit of an awkward release. If the flexibility is not there to reach the arm past a certain point, try not to fret or stress about it. Just do the best that you can. Okay, taking one more breath before taking that left palm down. Elbow walk your way back. And then just switch sides for a quick second, just to find a release before reaching the right arm onto the outside of your left leg. Inhale, lengthen up through the chest, and then exhale, twist. You're going to look past the left shoulder blade here, twisting right from the navel point. Okay, about 2 more breaths. Good. And slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. Plant the right palm behind you. Right palm directly underneath the shoulder, lifting up through the hips, squeezing your glutes, and then lengthen through the rib cage, popping and lifting it up. Taking about 2 more breaths here. Good, and then slowly taking the hips down to touch, pull the left knee in, scoot yourself forward a little bit so the bum is right in the middle of the mat, and we're just going to come into a little bit of core, so lower down onto the back, hugging the knees into the chest, rock it out slightly from side to side, and then planting the feet down onto the mat about hips width. Try to tuck the tailbone so the lower back is as close as it can get toward the floor. Nice and easy, classic sets. We've all done this. Take those palms behind the head and just start to come to a slight pulse. So you're pulsing head, shoulders, and chest up and off of the mat, getting a nice feel of that crunch in the upper line belly. Try to link a breath with this. So every time you crunch up, it's an exhale out of the nose. Go for 8, 7, 6, 5, keep going, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend the left leg toward the top of your mat, hug the right knee into the chest, closing the eyes here, coming into a wind relieving pose, relaxing through your shoulders, very little engagement in your body right now, just focus on lengthening out through that lower back. Taking your breaths in and out of the nose. Crossing this right knee past the left, extending the right arm to the side. Inhale to lengthen up through the crown of the head, setting your shoulders down and back. Exhale, twist, twist, twist. Good. Gently release. Quick set baby bridge if you need it to reset, and then switch. Hug left knee into the chest. Extend the right leg toward the top of the mat. Closing the eyes, maybe turning down your music if you do have earphones, or just placing the earphones to the side. And just work on listening to the quality of that inhale and how the exhalation sounds. Doing your very best to smooth it out. 2 more counts. And then slowly with the right arm, using it to cross the left leg toward the right side of the space, and then extend your left arm out to the side. Again, inhale, lengthen through the spine, then exhale, focus on twisting right from your belly. Good. Gently start to unbind yourself. Come back to your baby bridge. We're going to hold there for a little bit. Feet are at hips width. Reaching the fingertips toward your heels. And then start to lift the hips up toward the ceiling, shifting and pushing and rocking the weight toward the shoulders. You'd walk the shoulders, palms, a little bit further down, maybe even interlace the fingers together to touch. Try not to move your head around once you set up your pose. Keep those knees at hips width. So continue to squeeze your glutes tightly. You're breathing in and out of the nose here. Good. 2 more breaths. Not too much is going on, but focus on that constant flow of breath to ensure you get the oxygenation that you need in your body. As you release the fingertips, slowly vertebrae by vertebrae, lower the hips back down to touch the mat, and then hug both knees up toward the chest. Taking a few easy rocks here from side to side. Inhale the forehead up to the knees, and then exhale, relax the head back down toward the mat. Taking those legs up toward the ceiling with the arms, getting into a dead bug pose. Taking those forearms and palms to face the shins, keeping those feet at hips width, keeping your palms at shoulders width. Taking a few more breaths here. Okay, and very easy. Every time you inhale, you're going to start to reach the arms and the legs toward the back and the front end of your mat. So away from one another. And on your inhale, you're going to bring them back toward that original set of dead bug pose. So you're getting into the entirety of the front core. This can be a very slow movement, or it can have a little bit faster of a pace. There's no right and wrong. But as long as you come to a point where you do feel your core, your midline engage. Good, just a few more. And let's finish up, hugging the knees into the chest. For 1 minute, you're going to come into a bicycle. You can go as slow as you'd like, or you can go as fast as you'd like. So take the palms behind the head, extending one of those legs out, opposite elbow to the thigh, and then just start to come into a bicycle. Every time you alternate and switch through the legs, you're doing the same thing with the upper body, elbows touching from one knee to the next. Continue to pulse through the breath. Every time you switch It's a strong exhalation. If you're feeling quite heated, you can take your exhales out of the mouth. Good job, almost there. Keep that lower belly pulling back toward your spine. Let's go for 8 more. 7, 6, 5, keep it up. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Hug the knees into the chest. Good, rock it out from side to side. You can even come into a happy baby, reach for the insteps or outsteps of the feet. Shrug the shoulders up to the earlobes, relaxing your shoulders back down, and then getting into a nice full body stretch. Searching for a yawn if it's there, wonderful. Circling out through the ankles and the wrists. Now you can either hold here, you're coming into a Shavasana a bit early. We're going to come into a seated meditation at the end of class today. That's why we're just going to wrap things up a little bit early today. If that's uncomfortable with the arms, those palms could come down toward the belly, or you could come into your 5-pointed star. So we're here for a few minutes. Closing the eyes, turn off any kind of music. There's nothing around you to distract you. You're able to rest quietly. And then just closing the eyes when you're ready. Wherever you are, gently start to bring awareness back into your body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. You can circle out through those ankles and wrists again. And taking as much time as you need before rolling to the right side of the mat for a couple of breaths. Pressing the palm down into the floor, bring yourself up toward a seated. Planting those palms down on the knees when you get there. And then just start to shake the head, bobbing the ear from one shoulder to the other, just lengthening out through the neck. Maybe shaking the head from side to side. And then nodding the head up and down. Couple shoulder rolls before coming into a two-minute meditation. So just Vipassana style, where you're not doing any technique specifically, you're just simply focusing on being still, focusing on this present moment. Whenever your mind wanders or thinks about something else, you acknowledge it and then you bring yourself right on back. Closing the eyes, just paying attention to the area below the tip of the nose, above the upper lip, and the skin attaching those two areas. As you breathe in and out of the nose, just notice the coolness and then the warmth of the air. Doing your best to continue to ground down without tightening your glutes or quads. Try to relax in the area of the knees. Observing 8 more breaths. Taking the palms to prayer just in front of the heart, bowing the head down. Gratitude toward yourself for stepping on the mat, for following through for the entire practice. Take as much time as you need on the mat today. Namaste. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy your week.